guys, welcome to Glamping with Steve. Today we're gonna get this insulated ice fishing tent set up. It's supposed to be a storm blowing in and it sure seems like it, so hopefully we'll be able to survive the night. We're gonna get this thing tied down ASAP because there's wind warning, snowfall warning, and beautiful wife is here with me tonight. She is running the camera, so well, let's get going.
The camera.
Okay, so we'll need to get some weight on this right away. Well, we flipped the picnic table over and we're going to tie the corners onto this. That should give us enough holding power for sure versus little stakes in the ground, because this is frozen, kind of loose pine needle forest floor, and that's not going to hold anything, particularly if the wind blows. And over in the actual camping spot, that's hard packed frozen gravel, which is also not really good at holding anything in any serious way. So we'll get this tied on and we'll get the glamping set up ready to go. We've got everything loaded into the tent. We've got it secured. Before we lose our sun power, I'm just going to go and take a look at the lake because it is very picturesque out here. And it's an awesome spot. We should be here for a couple of days, so it's a bit of a longer adventure than usual. And I know I'm going to get people asking about the sound. If there is any wind noise, I do have a windsock, like a dead cat. It's the big fuzzy ball on the mic, but they got their limits, so that's all we can do for that. Oh yeah, don't worry, you don't have to tell me twice. I will not deposit any money, which is nice because usually it'll be $21 or something and I don't have exact change and I end up putting in 30 or 25, muttering, "Keep the change, you filthy animals." So it's really nice for change to find a nice free spot. No firewood today, but it looks like they normally do have some firewood, but for free 99 I don't expect any firewood. All right, and beautiful wife is over there domesticating our little tent, getting it all nice and cozy for tonight. This promises to be quite good. Yeah, it's really been domesticated up in here. So this is what I'm talking about on the microphone here. I got this little fuzzy poof ball, a dead cat or a windscreen, windsock, and it does what it can, but you know, there's always going to be some clipping when there's a lot of wind. Anyhow, I've got my big buddy 18,000 BTU of warming power. so that will work for us tonight. It's hooked up to the outside there. There's a 20-pound propane cylinder. There's the Jackery here, which I do bring on a lot of adventures. It's a 500 watt hour. And on that, I got the trouble light with an LED bulb in it. So that's really good. Got a couple of these cots here with the Cabela's ones that are hard to put together. With a foamy and some sleeping bags on top of it. A bunch of food, step 2s, glorious things like that. Outside there is nature. And I'll just give a brief overview of this tent. I will touch a little bit more on it, but it's got the 2 entrances, triangle-y zipper things, so that the other one I had a curve in the zipper, and that just made it a real hassle to open and close. We got ventilation screens. There's 2 there, 1 on either side. Lots of windows in this thing, which is awesome. And the windows, this part actually comes out as well. So you can have a hole right to the outside. When I put in a wood stove, I'll probably replace one of these panels with some sheet metal and do a little stove jack through the side that way. Then I can return it to normal use if I don't want the wood stove in it. So that's what we got in here. And we're gonna be cooking on the fire tonight. I didn't bring my normal little campy stove thing because the fire's nice and we're gonna have one anyways. That's that. So moving right along. I'm getting a little bit thirsty, so I think we know what's gonna happen next. It is time to crack Alexander Keith's today. And of course, everybody at home, you can crack yours as well. Not everybody drinks beer, so it could be pop, it can be step 3, whatever it is for you. Cheers, guys. The sun is setting on another day on this world, and we're gonna have to shelter in place here pretty aggressively, because that snow, I can feel it. It's coming within the next few hours. We've got the heater on. We're just in this tent right now trying to stay warm, and it's not proving too difficult because it's not actually that cold out, but that should probably change overnight. Seems that the wind has died down. We don't have our snow particles coming down yet, but I expect that to change quite shortly. Gonna just do a simple meal tonight. We got a nicer one planned for tomorrow night, and we're just gonna cook up some smoked sausages with some buns, maybe some sauerkraut, maybe some mustard. Who knows what the evening's gonna bring. And we get the fire started now rather than later when it's snowing and the wind's blowing. And hey, if you can start a barbecue, you can start a campfire. Just a little bit of this barbecue starter stuff in there. I give it a healthy dose. Beats trying to do it again when it goes out. And the stuff is like jellied, basically jellied kerosene by the looks of it. So it's fairly safe to, well, clearly it's not exploding like gasoline would. But there we go. That should get the party started nicely. And yeah, conserve our wood as much as possible. And it's not bushcrafty, but it'll do. And that's not a slight on bushcraft. I'm very fond of a lot of bushcrafters. It's just not what I do. And I don't want to claim to be an expert or even remotely knowledgeable about bushcraft. Oh, okay, there we go. That's good. Things are clouding over really severely here. So, I'm gonna get the dinner on the grill. Smoked sausages. And really simple one tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a little more complex, but yeah, we have a storm coming, I think. I'm not sure 100%, but who knows what the weather predictions actually pan out to be. We'll cook these up and get right back into hunkering down in the old tent. These look about done. They're filled with cheese, so it looks a little rude when they cook. However, delicious. I'm gonna enjoy these in the tent because there is no bears around these parts. Back into the tent, super cozy. Gonna get the smokies here, which are Canadian for smoked sausages. But yeah, just a sprinkle of mustard on here. And then tomorrow we can actually relax, enjoy the trip without trying to take the whole tent down and everything in the morning. So that's awesome. It's gonna be a really cool trip out here. Oh, yes. There we go. Western Family mustard, buck. It's a fantastic deal. There we go. Yum, yum. Absolutely perfect. And the wind is still blowing, but not too violently. We're anchored down if there is an issue with that. But the stars are all gone. It's clouded over, which means there is snow coming. Between 10 and 20 centimeters tomorrow, which will be 3 to 6 inches of snow for us. So we'll see what happens, and in the meantime, just gonna sit here watching Simpsons or something. Good morning. It snowed a whole lot. The roof collapsed a couple of times in the night. Had to wake up and pop it back up, which is not unusual with these hub things if they get a load of snow on them. Sometimes I put a little stick. I have an extendable painter's pole that I just right there to hold it up, but I didn't bring it this time because we got the bed right in the middle. So we're gonna see what this damage is like outside, see if we can actually make it out of this parking lot, because yeah, it's stormy. It's gonna get stormier. If we can actually make it into town, we'll grab a little bit more supplies, because if there's a little bit more snow, I don't know when they're going to actually plow this road, but I think there's probably like that much snow out there right now. So let's take a look. Certainly was a fair bit of snow. As you can see, the car is under there somewhere. Our tent held up okay. The quantity of snow is formidable, and we're going to try to drive into town through this. And you can see we do run the risk, if there is any more snow, of being stuck here. And I've just stepped on a few things, fire starter stuff from yesterday, and I have a GoPro out here somewhere too that was recording a time lapse. And where would that be? It's gonna be in here somewhere. Yeah, quite the amount of snow. I should have brought my big, humongous astronaut boots. That would have been useful for today. Alright. Where is the GoPro? day. And where would that be? I'm gonna be in here somewhere. Quite deep. There we are. Still recording. Huh, what a surprise. Boy. Definitely going to grab a little more stuff to stay out here longer. This may turn into next week's video too. At least I can upload from here because there's really good cell service, but maybe stranded here for a little bit. Who knows? There is a private park operator that takes care of these parks, including the roads, and they'll eventually be around to shovel this place out, but I don't think they're expecting anybody to actually be camping out here. We're about to fully explore the limitations of the all-wheel drive system on a Hyundai Santa Fe. It is really, really deep. You can see there. Now I should be using the GoPro to film this, except I'm using the big main camera because the GoPro, I dug it out of the snow, I brought it into the car and I plugged it in, and it made the worst beep I've ever heard it make. And then smoke started coming out of it, so I don't think it's going to film anything else after what I put it through last night. So here goes nothing. I have no idea if we're going to get stuck or not, but if we make it into town before there's any more snow, because this may be quite a while before they clear all this out, we're going to have enough stuff that we could last here a week or two. Like we're going to load up because they will eventually plow this, but when? That's the question. Okay, here we go. Okay. Not so bad at all. That is a great thing because I was really expecting a little more trouble. We haven't made it to town yet, but it's doable. We can do this if we're careful. So we're gonna grab a few more things for an extended stay we didn't plan on. I heard that there's snow warning coming, but I didn't think it would be anything like this. Like, look at this. Now, it was a big load of snow, and I didn't realize it until I backed up to take a nice picture of these boughs. Our car is literally like, we're dragging the skid plate through the snow here. So it's working a lot easier than I thought it would. But yeah, when we're like leveling off, like, yeah. If anybody's wondering what I have for tires, they're new tires, so that's probably what it is. I can't even see what they are, but I'll let you guys know in the description or something what kind of tires I'm using, because this is actually impressive. So there's an accident back there. Looks like a couple of semis had a crash, and we are going to be backed up for quite a while trying to get back out to the campsite. So be well prepared, load up on food, and be ready to hunker down in this lane on the way back. Now, it's somehow more intimidating coming back into the campsite. On the way out, we couldn't see how seriously we were breaking trail, but on the way back in, it becomes absolutely apparent that we were probably pushing the limits of what this is capable of doing. We did have a little bit of an issue with the snow from the top melting and dripping down into it. Now they're pretty water resistant, but you know, they're designed for snow, so you wouldn't want to be out in the rain with these things. One of the nice things on this model is it has these little pouches here that you can put the straps into for tying it down. So it's one less thing to lose, one less thing to look for when you're trying to tear it up and tear down and set them up. Okay, we'll just... This was the part where we were experiencing the most melt through into the inside. So as long as it doesn't snow tonight, it should be warm and cozy. Actually, I will bring up, we had the Mr. Buddy heater on low last night and it was perfectly comfortable. Of course, it's not that cold out. This is only -2 Celsius or something, so it's like 30, 28 Fahrenheit, maybe in there somewhere. So it's really not that cold, but that extra insulation in here allowed us to just use it on low last night, so it was just perfect. Just exactly what we like to do, is conserve propane when we don't know if we're going to get snowed in or not. Well, we could have some snowdrift problems in the morning. Our old friend the wind is back, and we're thankfully tied down pretty good. Doesn't seem to be any more snow, but I'm gonna seek shelter for a little bit here, and then we're gonna cook some dinner and have a good old-fashioned hunkering down in the tent tonight. Probably like watch a Simpsons marathon of a lifetime. We did see, of course, some strange tracks that looked cougarish to me when we first came out here. and I haven't seen any in the fresh snow. They look quite old, so I'm not too concerned. And it's also, it's a cougar. They try to avoid adult human beings as much as possible. Now, if I was out camping, walking around with some kids and you know, a family, I'd be a little worried if they got far away from me. But it's not a concern today. And for another good old fire, be cooking some foil pouches tonight. And beautiful wife is going through and prepping up a bunch of ingredients so that we can throw foil pouches together, cook them up on the fire, and hopefully the drifts aren't too bad, the snow drifts. We've had to move the car up a little bit because it was starting to drift already. We didn't want to be stuck in the campsite here. That'll do it. Dinner time, dinner time, dinner time. I've been enamored with these foil pouch things. I've managed to find these smoked Gouda and what is that? Belgian beer. Yum. So we got that with some canned sliced potatoes here, a little butter, green peppers, mushrooms, and onions, and salt, pepper, a little garlic squeeze bottle. That's all going into this pouch, and we're going to stick it out there for 25 minutes or so. And I think deliciousness should ensue. And we may throw some triple cheddar on. Never enough pepper in this world. Oh, that's peppery. Garlic. Salt things up a little. And cheddar, cheddar, cheddar. What could be better? Okay, well, looks to me like a modest foil pouch. Of course, during bear season, this is nothing we'd even attempt to prepare inside the tent. However, we got the luxury right now of just having to deal with cougars. So, there we go. Aluminum is nice and recyclable, so a great thing to have with us. Now we're talking. Look how the snow just melts all around this fire pit. It is not cold at all, so I'm not going to be out here trying to say I'm surviving at -30 because it's right around freezing. It is snowy and windy though. And on goes the foil pouch. And this thing should take about 20 to 25 minutes, and we will be enjoying a nice foil pouch. I made one for a beautiful wife already, and it turned out, in her opinion, fantastic. We like different ingredients in ours, so this is what I've got going here. She prefers red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers. Not the green though, and I'm all about the green peppers. That's my thing. So we'll let this marinate for 20 minutes or so. I'll call up Crazy Neighbor, and then we'll be hunkering down in no time. Oh yes. Here we are, foil pouch. That is the new method of cooking, in my opinion. Wow. The veggies are done perfectly usually. Oh, just steamed right in there. Oh yeah. Holy macaroni. This is going to be good. It smells fantastic. I have to give a humongous shout out to all the folks that have donated to the beer donation fund. You're all class acts, and you know, some of you are incredibly generous. I really can't say enough about that, but we'll just we'll leave it at that. And thank you all so much. You're all great. Thank you so much. And we're gonna hopefully get out of here in the morning. We'll see how that goes. But we got good cell service, we got enough food, enough propane, so that if we are snowed in or anything like that, we can survive. And we will see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Good morning. What a beautiful morning this is. The sun is shining. The snow drifts didn't get too bad, so we should be able to drive right out of here. It seems fairly warm, but yeah, today is the day, the time to pack up and head back to reality. We didn't have any issues with wildlife. Our cougar pal didn't come around, but I did have bear spray just in case. The only wildlife I've actually seen here is a generous quantity of spiders. I guess it hasn't been cold enough to kill them off yet this year or anything, so they're coming out of the ground here. So it's one of the downsides of not having a floor on your tent, and if you don't like spiders, that makes it extra bad. So we're gonna pack up and get back to normal life, because as much as I'd love to just live here forever, we're starting to get stinky after a couple of days. So it is it's high time to get home and clean ourselves up. This area here is where I was worried about those drifts, and some of it's packed down pretty hard. Other parts are pretty loose, but it worked out pretty good. We'll be able to get out of here no problem. Awesome little pockets here for these tie downs. The less things to lose, the better. I like permanently attached things. Thoroughly enjoyable trip. Thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah. This is one thing I will point out. When the snow starts to melt around the base of these tents. If it's set up for a while, it can be a real tricky thing to get them out. But there is so much snow stuck onto this. People do suggest to pile snow around the outside to trap in extra heat and for extra insulation, but it's a real nightmare to take it down. And it's just after a couple of nights. So there's no way I'm putting this back into the bag when it's soaking wet and covered in snow. I'm gonna have to fire this into the back of the car and set it up at home in the sun and out of the snow to try and not put it away wet. Oh, heavy. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be doing something stealthier next week, more than likely, because it's been a while and I've got a hankering to do some hunkering somewhere I shouldn't be. And we're going to get out of here. Thanks for following along. Please subscribe if you like this type of stuff, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Cheers, everyone.